Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. In 1942, in the cold desert of a small border town in Texas, a group of Cain are kidnapped and mass embraced by members of the fanatical sect, the Sabbat. Out of this group, only a handful survived, and through rituals and mentorship they became the pack known as the Pale Riders. Representing the sword of Cain, they are wielded by a mentor to cut deep wounds within the heartland of Mexico to the enemies of the Sabbat. Juarez on Fire is a Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat chronicle that follows the Pale Riders pack that consists of Mitch, a Lazombra played by Adam, Coyote, a Ravenous anti-tribute played by Alex, Eldrick, a Caitiff played by David, Jasper, a Bruja anti-tribute played by Joaquin, Cora, a Shimizi played by Slavic, and Richard, a Ventrue anti-tribute played by Tillman. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy. So you guys are you go off onto this road that goes west, and let's see how far. I think it's gonna take about. Okay, so you guys are driving along. The road is compact dirt. It's definitely like a 2-lane road, not a 4-lane road. It's like a 2-lane road, not a 4-lane road. It's bumpy. It's not as bad as you were worried about it being, Richard, when you were driving. Of course, with the suspension of this big old van and trying to like pay attention to control it, it is a little difficult, but it's not like you were worried about this van was going to like break down. You know what I mean? The axle is going to break. You know what I mean? Now it's not comfortable. The seats don't have cushioning anymore. It's almost like every time it bumps, your tailbone hits like metal instead of like what was once used to be cushion. And you look over at Cora and you could kind of see like she's bumping a couple times. You know what I mean? Her head like might almost hit the top of it. First, before we start, I want to know what's going on in everyone's head right now. So I'll start with you, Richard. What's going on in your head right now that you guys are driving down this road?
I probably focus on the road, like trying to maneuver around the bigger holes in the asphalt, just to not risk anything.
Well, they get determination, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. Like he tries to go fast, but at the same time fears that he might break the van after all.
Does he feel that like being in the lead and kind of being the guy that everyone's kind of like, when I say lead, I mean lead of the convoy, and the guy everyone kind of asks about traveling since you read the map and everything? Like, does he feel like he like how does that make him feel as a pack of the member? Does he feel like he has this sense of responsibility now, or you know what I mean, that he plays a critical part in all this? Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
He feels empowered by it a bit, but at the same time, like he wants to perform well.
Yeah, like he's under the gun, kind of like not like they're making him purposely feel that way, but he feels he's proven himself for the love of the pack, I guess, or something like that, or for his own.
Definitely, he's proving useful.
Proving useful, exactly, right? Exactly. And seeing that you may, due to your own insecurities, feel like you're having to play catch up. You know what I mean? To rest the pack, even though I'm sure none of them think that way, especially with the Waldery and everything. What about you, Cora? What's going on in your head right now as you guys are on the road?
Well, it's still the full moon, so of course still pretty angry. Like, it's not like angry, but like full of emotion. She's like fidgeting and, she's literally angrier than a Bruja. That supernatural anger burning in her brain. So she's sort of fidgeting and, biting on her lip till it bleeds. And just, it's very intense. Like tapping her foot.
Restless. Okay, that's good. What specifically is it? And I know you're saying it's like a mood and it's like a supernatural emotion. Is there anything specific though in her brain that she keeps like replaying that has her anger? Or is it just like waking up on the wrong side of the bed and just being like?
She's especially angry about how what was the enemy pack's name?
Banditos.
Yeah, the Banditos. How she gave them a gift and, they were traitors and she just, she thought she was being nice and now she's just so angry at them. Just wants to hurt them,
What about you, Jasper? What's going on in your head right now?
So Jasper's thinking about his conversation with Elenipi and how they need to make sure that they don't get lost in the intoxication of their newfound vampiric status. And after seeing Coyote all demon, because like he might have a point. Like I'm starting to get a bit worried about this.
So when you say worried, are you worried for like worried about your end of the like it happening to you? Or
It's more like I'm worried that I might lose them to. I might lose my pack mates to the beast.
So you're do you feel a sense of like mourning in a way of like what's going on with Coyote? Do you think it's like reversible, or what do you think's going to be the like what like if I was to ask your character, what do you think's going to happen to Coyote in the future? What do you think? Like what's Jasper?
That hopefully he'll like it'll be reversible. Like he'll get rid of the demon stuff and be like, okay, yeah, you did that. That's okay at some points, like, but like you're going a bit too far. You're scaring me a bit.
Like you're getting it out of your system, but you're oddly an optimist in things in life. You know what I mean? And what you believe in, and that everything can be pure, and so you have this weird sense of optimism that is transferred over to the Cainite condition. Coyote, what's going on in your mind right now? As you're laying in the dark and you have like how are you sitting back there with this figure in the back of the
I'm sitting leaning back against the wall of the inside of the truck, and I'm cradling the lady, and even though it's pitch black, I'm staring with my eyes wide open into the distance, and I'm just kind of, I guess what's going through my head is the promise of future murder is, I put my bloodlust in the future, and at the moment I feel really calm and tranquil, and I'm just kind of caressing her head while she is ragdolled in my kind of embrace, I guess.
So this is in a way almost like a security blanket of sort, or almost even like the little chicklet that you had as a kid.
Like a little pet. Yeah.
Yeah, like a little pet. All right. Yeah. I think that's fucking eerie and scary in a fucked up way too. But yeah, it's like this weird last grasp at humanity that Coyote seems to be trying to, you know what I mean, grasp onto before he sinks that much down. Does it
singing folk songs that my grandma used to sing me, just quietly in the back of the truck.
Is anything from the talk that you and Ilanipi had like going through your head, like during that when he talked to you, you know what I mean, about all that, or is it just right now you're just like just trying to feel warm and comfortable and you don't want to think about anything?
I'm almost in a zen moment. I'm envisioning the kind of horrific things I'm going to inflict on the banditos when we get to them.
Mental visualization. That's cool. I can dig that. I'm a huge fan of mental visualization. Not the thought of imagining murdering people, but you know what I mean. Mitch, what's going on in your head as you're driving?
Mitch is having a very introspective drive, thinking about where he was at the start of this whole Sabbat experience and how he's progressively become more and more comfortable with the more monstrous aspects of it as his humanity has dropped. And he's still starting and working on parsing out all of the memories that he gained as a result of the diablerie.
So would you say like comments like the beer for the road thing, kind of like that, is like your way of like trying to make light of like accepting what you're becoming and everything, or what?
Yeah, he's trying to crack wise because it's easier to do that than to really choke down the horror. Yeah.
So you guys are driving for about an hour, and you see, Mitch, when you're in the second vehicle, you kind of see off in the distance as you're looking, because you have clear desert on both sides of you. Seriously, it's beautiful. I mean, just from a storyteller, whatever, like there's nothing more beautiful to me than like a clear night in the desert, you know, and having like the full moon kind of shine upon it, because in a way it's like the desert sand almost like makes the night glow a little bit more, and it's easier to see at night, and you can see kind of like the shapes of Joshua trees and cacti and like rocks that are sticking out, you know what I mean, and tumbleweed bushes and then like almost like little mini dunes kind of like on the side of the road, you know what I mean, to where if you're hit it you wouldn't just go into the desert, but you know what I'm saying, like you see, and it's, as far as the eye can see, there's literally like nothing else on the landscape except just the road that's going forward. And until Mitch, as you're seeing there, you see on the right far off, it looks like it might even be like a mile. You can kind of just see like a silhouette of something that's on like a little hill. It almost looks like you'd have to go down the road for like a mile or two and go off on the right, which is to the south. And it looks like a little like it looks like a church. You can definitely see like on the top almost like a cross. You know what I mean? Like it's like a building that kind of has like a I want to say steeple almost, you know what I mean? With like an older cross, but you can't quite see all the details, you know? And you can see like it looks like light is coming from within a window there.
Mitchell hit the horn real quick.
You hear the horn, Richard?
And Mitchell
I'd
pull
slow and
Mitchell pull off to one side and try to pass the dairy truck. Slow down as we get up to the church.
yeah.
So you're driving up and you see as you get to where like the road has a turnoff and there's like these two wooden posts that are like on each side of the road, you know, and you can kind of see at night, it looks like there's a wooden fence, like a handmade fence that goes along where it's like two posts and there's two vertical posts that go across, and you can kind of look and you see it probably goes like maybe like an acre, you know, I mean, it goes maybe like 100 yards one way, 100 yards the other along the road, and then it cuts into the desert, you know, and you see the road goes up into there, and you see it goes up a little hill, like about 50 yards, and you see that there is this older church. It is made of like a lot of the buildings that were made back then, almost like the little hotel huts you stayed at. It has like a wood that looks to be weathered from like the sun, you know what I mean, and the elements that it's made of is not painted, you know, and you see that there's like a huge double wooden door up front, and there's steps that lead up to it, and you see the wooden doors are closed, but you see actually though on those double wooden doors they're actually are decorated, meaning they have like the each has like these two Virgin Mary Madonnas almost that are like they were carved into this wood, almost like the wood of the doors is not made of the same wood that rest of the place is. It's almost odd, right? It's like cheap weathered wood, and you have this nice like darker wood, and it has like two painted Madonnas of the Virgin Mary, but they're colorful. Like there's like flowers at her feet, you know what I mean? And there's bright pastel colors. They're kind of weathered, but it looks like at one point they're hand painted, you know. And you see that there are like two windows on each side, and you can see that there's candlelight and lantern light that seems to go through. And you see that there is like what could be like a parking lot, but it's really gravel, because at this time there weren't like a lot of like parking lots deep in Mexico, you know what I mean? But the gravel is there in case anyone has a vehicle, but you see there's like horse hitches, you know what I mean? And you can kind of see when you're driving up there, if you look behind the church, you see that there's like two little like shanty homes that are on the same ground there, and one has like light coming from within it, one of the windows, but the other doesn't. And there's like these walkways that lead from like the front of the church that come around like walkways that go back there, or maybe even from the back, you know. So you're coming you're going to turn into the road.
Oh yes,
and that leads up to it. All right.
Yes.
So you see Mitch turn off to the road to this church. You can feel Coyote, like the vehicle kind of slowing down a little bit. Are you guys, the rest of you guys following him? All right, scene's on you guys. Go ahead.
All right, Mitch will pull in. He'll park. He'll get out of the truck. He'll light a cigarette and take a long look at the church.
Yeah, you kind of see what I described before. You know what I mean? You're just sitting there, and you guys see Mitch doing that too. He gets out of the vehicle and seems to just be kind of lost in thought, staring at it while smoking a cigarette. Are you staying in the back, Coyote, or are you getting out? Or
I feel it stop, so I'll open the door, and after gently placing what's her name down, I'll get out and kind of just silently sidle up to Mitch and light up a cigar and just stand there silently puffing away next to him.
You wish
All
to
right,
have
what about
a
everyone
prayer
else?
before we go on our way?
I need to have a talk with a man in a priest's shirt real quick.
Shall we wait
I don't
here,
know.
or
Please do.
Very well.
well?
Do your
Cora?
business, brother.
Cora, you're in charge while I'm gone.
I'll make sure everyone behaves.
Thank you. Mitch will walk up to the church. He'll test it, making sure he doesn't just immediately burst into flame.
yeah, I mean, you don't even know. I mean, yeah, smart move, but you guys don't even know about true faith or anything. You know what I mean? Anything to that extent. You know what I'm saying? But so you put your hand on your hand on the handle. Nothing happens. You know, like it's normal door.
Okay. He'll finish off the cigarette, take a deep breath, and walk in.
You open the door, and the door kind of creaks, and as you open it and you look and you see like there's like 5 pews on the side, right? And then you see like there is this tabernacle, right? That's the stand, right? And there's a tabernacle there. Nothing is on it at the moment. And you kind of see to the left, there looks like to be like there's like two confession booths where like one the priest would go in and one you would go in, and you smell like sawdust in here, and you could still smell like the smell of incense that like the priest has that he walks along, and that he usually starts, has like in the ball that he's walking along during a lot of during the mass, and you can smell it. And it's like almost like it's ingrained itself into the wood. It's this refreshing calmness that kind of that creeps over you when you walk in, and you see right to your left, like where they would put holy water, where they would baptize like new babies or people who convert, to the left there. And you can see in the pews in the front and like in behind the seats, you see like these very old parchments that have like hymns and hymnals that people can sing along with and open up to sing along with. But they haven't been used in forever, because it can only be assumed that people who go here for mass are so dedicated to the Catholic Church that they already know these hymnals. They don't need to like sit there and sing along with them, because this is a church that maybe is for local villages, you know what I mean, that have to travel or walk for like an hour just to get there, old women who may be alone with no kids to watch out for them, and dead husbands may walk here with like their worn down shoes just, for mass, maybe even daily, and so when you open this door and you smell it, it's a sense of calm. And you see as you do that, there's a person who's like, looks like he's about to put out the lantern that is behind the stand at the front, the tabernacle. I don't want to keep saying that because I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna just call it a stand from now on. And he's like he's about to dim it, and you see there was a door there, and he turns around and he looks, and you see he is wearing like these black like faded pants. And he has like a short sleeve button up black faded shirt with the priestly collar on there. He seems to be around 60 or 70 years of age, probably the same age as you. His skin is not as dark as Mexicans that you've seen. He has a Hispanic look to him, like a Mediterranean look in a way, but he's not like pale. I'm not trying to imply he's like a Cainite, but you know what I mean? He doesn't look as Aztecian as others that you've seen in the country here. He has a full head of black hair that has salt and pepper on the sides, and he has no facial hair. He looks to be maybe about 140, 150 pounds and about 5'10", 5'11". So he's rather skinny for his size there, but he looks healthy and in a way which is not something that you have seen often when the few times you have gone this deep into Mexico. Because for the most part, you guys are I know it's not really deep into Mexico, but this is deeper than a lot of you guys have had to go, you know what I mean, into Mexico before. And you see, he turns around, he looks at you, and he says in Spanish, he's like, "Oh, good evening." And you see he's kind of caught off guard a little bit, seeing Caucasian, you know what I mean, male standing there at inside the church.
And in fluent Spanish, Mitch will reply, "Hola, Padre."
Is there something I can help? Yes, son. Yes, my son, I do. And you see him, he kind of like takes his, like he was turning down the lantern. You see him, he turns it up just a little bit, you know what I mean? Knowing now that he's going to be in there, and he turns and he like brushes his hands off his shirt, and he walks past the stand and walks down a couple steps, and you can hear he has like these boots on, like cowboy boots in a way, and you can hear like the heels are hitting the wood and kind of make this distinct sound, almost like he is the owner of this, like he like even his steps portray that he is part of this very foundation of what this church is. And he walks towards you with his hands extended and a warm smile on his face, and he's like, "Of course," and he's like, "And your name is?"
"You can call me Mitch." And I'll shake his hand.
Well, and he like shakes his hand. "It's nice to meet you. I am Father Molta." And he's like, "What do you wish to talk about?"
"I have a question on sin, Father."
"Sin? Do you seek confession?"
"Oh, no. I don't think that would do me much good at this point. But I've got a philosophical question for you."
He looks at you for a second. He looks perplexed, and then he motions for one of the booths to take a seat, He's like, "Do you care to take a seat?"
"I will happily take a seat, Father."
And he takes a seat next to you, like leaves a foot between you guys, but he sits on the same, you know what I mean, booth, and he kind of like turns towards you, and he kind of props his arm up on the booth, and he crosses his legs, and he's like, "What nature of sin do you wish to speak of, my son?"
It's a question of nature and of sin, so I'm glad you opened that way, Father. What does one do when sin is a very deeply ingrained and unavoidable part of their nature? And I'm not speaking in the everyone, does something wrong on occasion because we're all idiots sense. I'm speaking in the you have to do it or you die sense.
That has been a question that has been asked since the dawn of our church, my son. They say that Jesus died so we all can be forgiven for our inherent sins. We all are inherent sinners in our nature, but I feel you're asking more of a question that deals with choices that we are faced with.
No, this has nothing to do with choice. I'm not
What
talking
is it?
about original sin. I've been baptized, that's been washed away, but I've been rebaptized, and I'm pretty sure that sin's a part of my soul now, and there ain't no way to avoid it.
When you say you've been rebaptized, my child, what do you mean by that?
It's a long story. I would prefer not to get into it.
We have nothing but time out here. You look like a man who could use a drink. I have a feeling I'm going to need a drink during this discussion.
I'm quite good, Father, thank you, but please feel free to imbibe.
Here, come. And he kind of motions, you to follow him. My quarters are simply right behind here. I feel like I'm going to need a scotch before we delve any further into this. And he's like, I smell cigar on you, so I take it you're a man who enjoys pleasantries.
I do on occasion.
You see, he walks by. He's like, I found myself since I've been in this land. And he's like, I am originally from Portugal, so excuse me if I don't seem to fit into these regions here, but I've been here for the last 30 years, but I still find myself clinging to delicious drinks and fine cigars, which I suppose we all have our vices, right? And he kind of just smiles as he opens the back door and you see there's these steps and he walks this path. There's like real small shit. There's like a one-room wooden hut thing. And he opens, there's like a bed there and there's like a table with like a lantern. You see he turns on the lantern. There's some books sprawled about and you see there's a little like bottle and he just kind of like pours himself and he takes a seat in a chair and he motions you to another chair sitting there. He's like, you sure you wouldn't like a drink, my child?
I am quite sure, Padre. Do you mind if I smoke?
Just go on ahead. Matter of fact, I think it would be rude if you didn't offer me one in return for my services. And he like winks at you,
Very well. I'll hand him a cigarette and light one of my own, then I'll hold out the lighter for him.
Then he lights it and he looks at you and he's like, listen, I have to be honest. While I do enjoy a drink and having a cigarette, part of this, I have to say, was to get you to relax a little bit so you can tell me a little bit more so I can help you. I can tell that whatever is happening to you or whatever you have a question about bothers you deeply ingrained into your soul. And you wish to guard that because we all want to guard what is within us and we don't want to show it to the world at times. But I can also tell that you are seeking answers. And my child, I cannot give you answers unless you shed a little bit of light on what your predicament is.
Were you a soldier, Father?
In a way, I was. I found myself going to Spain in the 30s. I wasn't a soldier, but I found myself trying to do relief during the struggles that occurred in that country not so long ago. But myself, I've never lifted a weapon up with the purpose to harm for any kind of goal or motivation. But I am a soldier of God in a way.
Say that you're a
Protect
soldier
my flock.
here on Earth in a real war with real bloodshed, and you have no choice but to fight. Does the bloodshed become sin, or, because you have no choice, is it necessary and forgiven?
There was a time during the Crusades where knights and those who said they served the church wanted to travel to the Middle East to free the Holy Land. And before they left, they would get baptized. And they'd have holy water put on them, put over their body, spilled over their body. But when that happened, they always left out their sword arm and held their sword out to where it wasn't touched by the holy water. And that was to signify at that time that everything was blessed and baptized except for the arm that did the killing. Because in their minds, they felt that if they did that, that all the looting and the plunder and the death they would cause would be forgiven. Do you understand? And in a way, they were saying that they were soldiers of Jesus and of the church and of God. But that one arm that did the killing and did the looting was not expected to follow the rules that the rest of their body and their soul was. I found, and I'm sure you sit here and you think, as I thought when I first heard that story and read about that it was someone trying to take advantage of a system to accomplish theft and death and destruction and gaining worldly possessions by cheating the system. But there have been men and women who've been members of this great church of ours in body and of mind who have found themselves in predicaments like you have expressed. And it's currently going on overseas in the continent. It is currently happening as we speak. Men who are part of our church who are thinking they're fighting for one side or another. And it has been like that since man. What I am trying to say to you is, do you seek forgiveness? Do you seek retribution? Or do you seek an excuse to go on with whatever you feel you are doing?
What if I am entirely a sword arm?
But to me, it doesn't sound like that you're not. It sounds like a part of you wants forgiveness. When I talk to you, and I do not feel like I want to know what is going on outside these walls. Go ahead.
I want understanding more than forgiveness, Father.
Understanding of what? Why you do what you do? I cannot give you that answer.
Understanding why I am what I am and what that means.
What are you, my son?
A soldier. Not just a sword arm, but all of me is a sword.
And what army do you represent? You see, he's starting to look concerned now, looking at you, you know?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
You look rather old to be a soldier, or to be a sword, or to be part of an army. Who is your enemy?
I was in the Great War, and I was in Pershing's little expedition.
So you're dealing with memories of your past, and you feel that you haven't changed since then. Do you feel like those experiences have made you something what you are now?
Yes, experiences have in fact made me what I am now.
Well, there's good news in the fact that all sin can be forgiven. And to me, if you coming here and you expressing this to me and you telling me this shows that within that you seek that forgiveness.
But
and thus it can happen.
Is it sin to do what I am supposed to do when what I am is not something I chose?
Yes, because we all have a choice. You're saying you have no choice, but you do.
That is unfortunate.
But that is what's great, because all can be forgiven. We are all in charge of our destiny.
Mitch will look him right in the eyes. Thank you, Father. You look tired. Perhaps you should sleep.
Oh, God. You're going to use dominate?
Yep.
Manipulation,
what it is.
intimidation, difficulty of the target's willpower, more successes force the subject to act with greater vigor or for a longer duration.
Permanent, we'll say 6.
2 successes.
He slowly falls asleep, and you see him drop down. This drink spills on his shirt, and kind of his hand goes limp, and the glass rolls off his thigh and hits the wood. But since it's not a super hard tile, it just you kind of hear a thud, and it just kind of slowly rolls as it spills its contents a little bit on the wood, and you see the wood kind of absorb it a little bit, and the cigarette dangles from his fingers, but almost like a heroin addict who's kind of nodded off. It's still kind of held somehow, and in his 2 fingers.
Mitch will bite him.
Okay.
We'll top off my blood pool there.
How much are you taking?
Mitch will take 2 to top off his blood pool.
Yeah, so you take 2 blood pool points, all right?
And then he's going to keep going until he can feel the priest's heartbeat slow to a precarious degree.
So you take 2, and as you keep going, and you're sustained, but you have fallen almost in a dance with its heartbeat. You find yourself almost like you're guiding him, like you were guiding, used to guide when you were a teenager or young before you met your wife, used to guide her in these barn dances where people in Texas would go to, and you feel like the heartbeat is going with as fast as you're drinking, and eventually you hear it go do do do, and you feel it. You hear slowly. Goes away and slowly falls into nothingness as his life slips away.
Mitch will bite his wrist and just let the blood sort of pour over the priest's mouth.
You bite your wrist, and you see like your blood starting to coagulate, and you put it over his face, and through your sheer will of your canine condition, you force it to flow quicker than it did, and it starts like dropping, like just like raining down on his lower mouth and his face. I mean, literally, he's completely dry when you kill them. You're sitting there and you're watching, and it almost seems to go in slow motion, and you see one bead like hit his lower lip, and then all of a sudden, as soon as it went within his mouth, you see the eyes like open up and directly stare at you, and you see these eyes that you never knew. You kind of saw before that they were like green in a way, brownish green, and you see that slowly they like change and become like this pale green as it's staring up, looking at you, and you see like his skin is this beautiful like olive color Portuguese toned skin, like just seems to drop a little bit, like a shade, and he stare, and you hear this for a second, and there's this like anticipation, because at first, honestly, when you do it, you're like, and you're like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? As soon as the hit inside his mouth and his eyes open, and then you just hear this like, just like inhuman, like coming from its chest, and it just like shoots out of its mouth for a second as its fangs are extended, and you see like it's like his lips start curling back, and you see like his gums start drying up, and you see his incisors just like drop down, and you see his nose, like his nostrils like seem to flare out, almost like they each have a muscle system and a nervous system of their own, and is looking right at you. Scene's on you.
Mitch will stand up, grab the chair that he was sitting on, rip one of the chair legs off,
okay,
and jam it into the priest's chest.
All right, I won't make you roll for that. So yeah, you like sit there because it's weak. You know what I mean? Right now, it's pretty much frenzying at the moment. As soon as you like take the chair leg and just push it through, you see it just like stops like mid roar. You see like the muscles in his neck are like all tense in his neck, and you see that his hair. You're looking at his hair as soon as you do it, and you see almost like it has this like shine to it, like it's like didn't have before, like almost like a conditioned shine. And as you're looking at it, as soon as you stake him, you see like it almost like it's like a wave that was going over his hair slowly, like it's almost like happening before your eyes, but it's frozen now at that moment. Like the figure is frozen, the priest. All right, what are you gonna do after that?
I'll prop him up and give it a few minutes. Light another cigarette. Enjoy it. Wait long enough where I think he may have passed that initial frenzy. And then I'll look at him. Father, if I'm going to be damned, then I embrace it wholeheartedly, because it is in my nature, it is in my soul, and it is unavoidable. I am a sword, and there is nothing that will wash the blood off.
And you have this torpored figure, just like, because you still have the stake in him, right? Is that what you did? You sat him up just with the stake in him?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So you just see, like, you know, out of character and in character, if it's torpor, they can still hear, you know what I mean? And everything like that. And you just see, like, these glossed over eyes, just like, you know, it's not looking directly at you, but you feel this connection with him. You feel almost like, you know that he can hear. And it's this weird sensation that you're feeling with him. It's almost like the sensation you feel when Vidar uses obtenebration. And I'm not saying Vidar is your sire or any shit like that, but, you know, like, because the sense of attenebration and being La Zombra, even though you don't have attenebration, you feel this odd sense of connection with it. You feel something similar right now with this priest who's sitting across to you. So you feel almost like you're connected with him, if that makes sense. And I'm explaining out character, child, sire. You know what I mean? Connection there.
Mitch will look around the room. Does he have the incense back here?
Yeah, I can say that. You see like a little like case of it that's in a corner, you know?
Mitch will pull out the incense, sprinkle it into the priest's lap, walk back out into the church, look at the lamp. It's an oil lamp, right?
Yeah.
Mitch will grab the oil lamp, walk back into the priest's room. Go in my stead, Father. And he will shatter the lamp at the priest's feet.
Two things. I love this. One, you shatter the lamp and you just see the fire spread. And as soon as the fire like touches his pants and the oil hits it, it seems to almost like catch quicker than you would think. Like, it seems to, like, all of a sudden the fire starts spreading, and you see, like you hear crackling of the shirt, and you hear, like, a popping coming from the body. It almost sounds like grease when it starts to pop, when you're cooking in a frying pan almost. You hear a little bit of that, and all of a sudden the whole figure of the priest catches, and it's like almost like instantaneous. So you back off because you feel this overwhelming sense of heat coming from the body, and then all of a sudden, like, the desk starts catching fire, and the little bit of alcohol that was on the floor, and then all of a sudden this place is starting to catch on fire. Before we continue, I need to get two humanity rolls from you, good sir. One for killing him and making him a kindred, and then one for killing him again. So, what's your humanity right now?
4.
Okay, so you're not like Coyote bad, but you might be at the end of this. Yeah, so the first one, conscious difficulty 8, please.
Botch.
Did he botch? Did you really botch?
Yeah.
So you lose 2 humanity. You lose one of your conscious, dots in conscious, which leaves you to 1. Holy shit, Mitch. And then you get a derangement, which...
Welcome to the club.
We'll figure... Yeah. You get a revised derangement, which we'll talk about after this. And then I need one more conscious roll from you, please. Difficulty 8.
This is not going to go well.
Don't botch.
For real. Oh, 10. Nope, just a failure.
So you drop another one. So you're down to 1 humanity, which I think, Coyote, you're down to 1 humanity too, right?
I am.
You're
down.
Wait, would he have to roll
2.
humanity for killing someone when he was so low was like humanity?
That's a good question.
That's right.
Yeah. So you're at humanity 2. I don't have my book with me, so can someone pull the chart for humanity? That's a good roll. So, like, that's a good call, Mitch. You're lucky you got good pack mates who are like a good ductus will watch out for your little bit of humanity.
Casual violation, thoughtless killing, feeding past satiation.
For what? For 2? What? He's at humanity 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I would say that's thoughtless, like killing, right? Like,
Oh no, it was very deliberate.
deliberate killing's 4, right?
He planned that out.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So you're good. I won't make you roll a second one. All right. So
Okay.
you are down to 2. Now you do have a revised derangement, which we'll talk about once the scene's done. We'll say about 15 minutes, 20 minutes has gone by before the fire starts. All right. So you guys are all the rest of you 4 standing in the parking lot. Scene's on you guys. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm feeling quite restless this night. Full moon's making me crazy. Just want to sink my fangs into something.
I want to look up towards. You said there were 2 little shacks or houses a little bit away from the church.
Yeah, there are 2.
Yeah. Okay.
You see that there's 2 of them. Yeah.
One light on, one light off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will kind of to Cora aside. I'll say, hey, why don't you go check out the house with the lights? I'm going to go and check the one where the lights are out. I'm going to poke around.
Sounds like something to do.
I don't
Anyone
think
wanna
the
join
people
us?
that are awake will let me in.
As soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, I do need to get my driver some food. They still need that, humans, don't they?
I'll glance back at the truck and say, I think the girl needs to eat too, but I don't know how the food's going to get in.
I'll take care of that.
Cora, why don't you stay here? I'll bring you back some food. I'll bring the girl back some food. You stay here. Make her look pretty for me.
Okay.
I'm going to follow after Coyote.
So, Coyote, Jasper, what are you doing, Richard? Are you going with them, or are you staying with...
I think I'm going to stay with Cora, being morbidly interested in what's going to happen to that girl.
Coyote and Jasper, you guys are heading around the church on the left side. As you guys are slowly creeping along, there's the one little shack that's almost like the one that Mitch and the priest went into that has the lights on. And as you guys are coming around, you hear a door open from the church, and you stop for a second, and you see Mitch walking down a path following a priest into the one that's not lit. And then you see that they go in there.
Okay. I'll let you decide first, Jasper.
Well, I think that if we want to meet them face to face, you might want to not be immediately present, just so because your appearance can lead to escalation far too quickly.
I can de-escalate the situation quickly enough if we need it.
But if we do, I must confess, I'm a bit concerned about you, brother.
I'll look at him, quizzically.
When we first met, I was impressed by your power. You knew what you were. You didn't try to pretend anything what you else. But I must confess, this gesture, like to the horns and everything, what exactly do you intend to achieve with this? Do you intend to keep this for years, decades to come?
Why hide what I am? My outside perfectly reflects my inside now.
But
does my honesty scare you?
Not at all. It's just that I was always of the opinion that what you are on the inside is far more complex than anything the outside can show. Case in point, if you look at me, you see a man of education, but I am so much more than that.
Right.
There was simply no way for me to express what I am with what you see.
When you strip yourself down to your pure instincts, it's a lot easier to reflect that than a man of learning would find. I want to look like how I feel. I don't want there to be a distinction between my inner and outer world anymore.
Truly?
I can keep a low profile if it offends the rest of you, if you don't want to draw attention, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
I respect your conviction, brother. I really do.
Thank you. I'll give him a uncomfortably wide grin so that you can see like my back teeth right up the gum line, everything.
Yeah, that will require some adjustment, I suppose. But there are
listen,
worse
I see
things
where you're
to
coming from. Why don't you go check out the houses? I'll hang back here.
All right.
But can you find me 2 things? Some food and a pretty dress for my new friend.
Okay, brother.
Thank you, Jasper. I'll clasp his shoulder uncomfortably tight and then turn and walk back towards Cora.
You see him turn around and leave. Scenes on you. What are you going to do?
Okay, now that I know that as soon as if someone's home, they're not going to immediately scream, ah, and cry bloody murder. I'm just going to go up to the shack that Mitch and the priest did not go into.
So you're going to knock on the door? Or you're just going to open the door?
Yes,
what are you going to do about
that?
All right, you knock on the door and you hear some rustling and like sounds of movement inside, and the door slowly opens and you see this Hispanic lady, definitely Mexican. She looks like she's probably maybe like 40s, in her mid 40s. She has this like long sleeve white nightgown, leaves everything to imagination. Very conservative. Kind of look in the background, you see like dark robes of a nun, like in the back, you know what I mean, that are behind there. And she says in Spanish, like, hello?
Yes, I am afraid my Spanish is limited. Do you understand English?
She looks around like confused, and she's like, a little bit.
Excellent. Yes, I came by to inquire a few things. I would require some food and I suppose some clothing for a companion of mine. We've been traveling for a while, and I'm afraid this long trips are making it a bit awkward to deal with problems.
But she's trying to follow, and she's like, she turns and she looks in Spanish, and she's like speaking the Spanish to someone else in there, and you see this like about 20-year-old Hispanic lady comes dressed the same way, you know what I mean? You're kind of getting the sense that there's 2 females in here, and she looks and she's like, because you don't speak Spanish, right? You don't speak Spanish, your character doesn't? Yeah. So the room Spanish, you hear a voice come out, she's like, oh yeah, and she speaks better English. Like, I'm sorry, Sister Rosita does not know English that well at all. Sorry. I hear you say that you need food and clothes for a woman.
Yes.
She looks confused, and you can see she's kind of like trying to look past you a little bit, you know what I mean, to see like what's going on out there. And she's like, you see, she says something in Spanish, and she's like, can you give us 2 moments for so we can get dressed properly?
But of course, sister.
Thank you. And you see, it's kind of like, and you can see, what's your humanity for, right? Your humanity is still like
Yeah.
comfortable around you a little bit.
4, yeah.
Yeah, there was no like close the door smile. You know, there was close the door, like hurry up, and you hear like sounds in the background, and then the door opens up again, and you see like about 5 minutes later. And we'll say in that 5 minutes, like the talk is still going on. You don't even know that someone's getting embraced in the area next to you, you know. And then you hear the door open up, and they come out, and right before when the door opens up, you hear the door to the other room open up, and you look. And Mitch doesn't see you, but Mitch walks out, and you see him walking into the church, got out with a lantern. And as you're about to like say, "Hey," the door opens up, and and he walks in the room, and you look, and the girls, they didn't see him go in the room. You know what I mean? And they're like the nuns, and they're like, "Oh, okay, please." And the younger one's like, "Please, follow, yes, follow us, please."
All right.
We have food within the church. We and pantry for charity. Clothes, we don't have clothes here. I am sorry, but we have food.
I understand. Lead on. I'll have to just quick chat with my friend.
Okay, and then you see she follows, and you follow the two, and they open the door, and they go in there, and like you see one, they're talking in Spanish, like they're feeling around, and then you see can you hold the door so we can see? I don't know what happened to our lantern in here. Can you hold the door so the moon,
of course,
light, moon, yes. And you see as they're looking around, you see him stumbling. She opens up this pantry, and you see she kind of like, you see her grabbing like looks like little tin cans. You know what I mean? And she kind of like takes some, and she's holding like 4 cans of like beans, and you see the other ones has like a couple cans of like sardines. You kind of see they're kind of motioning towards you with it.
All right. Now thank you for your charity. I am very appreciative of it. Now
yes,
I am afraid we come to the messy part. Coyote, if you would come, and we have a choice available for us.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Jasper's voice coming from like behind the church. You know what I mean? Because it's quiet desert night. You know what I'm saying? You see the girls like they look confused, and they look around like they kind of walking towards around the corner. They don't see Coyote. You know what I mean? But you could tell they're going to wherever you're talking. You're thinking that's where they need to take the food. What are you gonna do, Coyote?
I will leave it in Jasper's hands. I will say to Jasper, whatever action you decide, I will carry out for you.
Well, as I say to him in English, like, yeah, we do need. They don't really tend to keep clothes, so we'll have to use one of them. But it can't be too messy whatever you pick. It's good to have spares lying around.
I did promise that I would bring something back for Cora to feed on.
Okay, you step out. Yeah, because as you guys are talking across the side of the church, the nuns are walking in the dark towards you, Coyote. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What are you saying? You're going to step out?
2 nuns, right? 2?
Yeah, 2. Like a 40-something-ish and a 20-something-ish nun.
I want to swiftly move towards them, grab both their throats, one in each hand, and snap them simultaneously.
So you come out of the shadows, and you just hear like, we're going to jump to you two, Richard and Cora. You know what I mean? We're going to cover what you guys are doing during this. You hear Jasper like just a scream, like, ah! You hear like shit drop, you know what I mean? Like into the dirt, that they're holding. You just hear like a gurgling sound. As Coyote does, you rush up and you just grab them both by their throat, and you lift them up for like a foot, and you kind of see the silhouette of this Jasper. You can't see it like clearly, but you can see it in the moonlight, and you just hear crack, and like the crack of their necks, like it seems to reverberate throughout the desert. But as soon as you're like, oh wow, that was loud, all of a sudden you hear, and you're like, what the fuck? And you look behind you, and you see like the door open to the other hut, and you see like flames just starting to shoot in there, and you see Mitch's silhouette standing like he's watching the inside of the house.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, One which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The mission seems simple enough, don't they always? Simple sweep and flush out operation. We loaded them up in a hazmat tanker in Montreal and shipped them to a downtown warehouse in the Valley of the Sun. They would have been in and out in a few nights. Well, we wouldn't be telling the story if it all went as planned, would we?
I go ahead and I pop quiet.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna run at him and do a sweet spin kick and knock his head off.
We're waiting to see whether or not the abomination kills us.
Shufflehead Chronicles is available on the Critical Hints feed. Search for Critical Hints in iTunes, Google Play, or any other podcatcher.
I don't think this is how. No.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of it which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play Podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the Duets tag to find out more.
Hi guys, I wanted to let you know about my YouTube channel, the video journals of Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey is a character I play in a live-action vampire game called New England Nightmares, which uses the new By Night Studio rules for Mind's Eye Theatre. The chronicle's set in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, and we run on the third Saturday of every month in Southington, Connecticut. Most of the credit for the stories told in my journals comes from the plots developed by the amazing storytellers who run my game. So the videos on my channel are basically an in-character video logs of the newly sired Ventrue Mike Bailey. They follow him from his days as a naive mortal to his violent embrace during the Anarch Revolt in the City of London, and on to his arrival on the shores of New Haven. The journals show Mike trying to come to terms with his kindred nature, his powerful but impure blood, and his attempts to hide his past from other members of the court of Prince Lucius. So I put out updates every 2 weeks, and I love feedback and questions, so check out my channel, subscribe, and leave me a comment.